Hello everyone, how are you? This is Lorene from Be.You.Nique, and I cannot live without my NYX lip gloss. Anyways, guys, I've never done a story time before, so I figured, I said, what do I have to say? Like, what do I have to tell? But I remember so many things. Like, a couple stuff came back to me, and I'm not sure if everything is like, you know, I'm not sure if I want to put everything up here, but I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, so I remember when we were little, right? And this was actually in Jamaica. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe. And we lived in it was a huge house, but it was like there were two sides, and one family lived on one side, and we lived on the other side. So the family, they had like maybe 4 or 5 kids and stuff. But the mom, they were hardly ever there, like the mother and the father. And the mom traveled a lot. She was like she would went to like Nassau, the Bahamas, Panama, and those places, and they would buy like clothing, like wholesale, and they'll sell them retail. Now, if you ask any Jamaican about Clarks, the shoes, Clarks, you'll know that a lot of Jamaican men they go crazy for Clarks, and they're quite expensive. Like, a lot of Jamaican men, they live for Clarks. Okay, they even had a song, like Vibes Cartel had a song. Anywho, so one night, the family, they weren't there, and which is the mom and dad. It was just the kids there, and they ranged in ages, you know. And the oldest girl, and she was way older than I was. She was maybe like 16, 17. So they were, big girl. Anyways, usually they're not supposed to conduct business when their parents are not there. And my family was actually inside, and I was outside, and I was just off on one side, just like, doing my own thing or whatever. And a guy didn't come to the front, like, he must have like jumped the fences, like, from the back. Like, because the only way you could have entered from the back is if you jumped the fences from, like, the people, our neighbors in the back of us. So I really wasn't paying any attention, guys, and he was asking him about Clarks. And like I said, Clarks are extremely expensive. And so they kept going inside and, like, showing him different sizes, blah, 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 whatever. Which they shouldn't have, like I said, because the parents, they weren't there. And the grandparents lived exactly across the street. So they didn't go and get anyone. Anyways, I looked up, and like everybody was like quiet, and the guy was holding a gun on the kids. Like, I mean, I was a little kid myself, like, not even 5th grade yet, I think, and I remember this vividly. And I don't know how he didn't see me, or I don't know what happened, okay? But all I know is I got inside the house, and my family was there, and one of whom at the time just happened to be a police officer, okay? But he was just home, unarmed, out of uniform, you know what I mean? And I went inside the house, and I was like this, just shaking, and they're like, what happened? And I was just pointing, and they're like, what happened? And I was like, just shaking. And so I said, gun, there's a man outside with a gun. I finally spit it out, right? So they were like, oh my God. So now they like kept me inside the house and they ran out there and the guy took off with a pair of Clarks, like one size 7 and one size 9 or whatever. So basically it's like, okay, where are you gonna wear those to? It's either they're gonna be way too big and way too small or something, you know what I mean? And he took off around the back where he came from, and it was like dogs barking everywhere. Like dogs were just barking, 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 barking. And guys, let me tell you something, that was not the scariest part. He left, and so everybody was just so scared, you know, because they were like, oh, he left with the wrong sizes and all that. Anyways, my brother was visiting from abroad at the time, and so we went back in the house, and then the kids, there was a door where they could like come to our side, so they were like banging, and so we opened it for them to come into our side of the house, you know what I mean? And they were like, there's somebody at the window. We were like, what? You know? So then we went and we looked, and oh my gosh, it was the freakiest, scariest thing. Like, this man was standing by the window like this, just looking in. Like, do you know how freaky that is? Just imagine you're there in your house, just relaxing. And remember, when he left earlier, because I think it was the same guy, he had a gun. But I think what happened was he realized that the kids were home by themselves. And, well, thank God he didn't come back with anyone. He came back by himself. And so he was by the window watching, and they realized somebody was watching him, and they started screaming. So they came over and they told us what happened. And we were like looking, and even though we were looking, he just stood there like he didn't even freaking move. He was just standing there. It was so creepy. Finally he moved. And then we had like this huge, like gigantic mango tree. And those mangoes were so good. I think in Jamaica we call them blackie. There's some little tiny mangoes, but let me tell you something. I miss Jamaica. Anywho, he climbed on the tree and went on the roof, like, trying to get into the house. So we didn't know what to do. So we had a cottage in the back, like a family lived in the back, in this little house. And we did not definitely want to go outside because we don't know if I said he was alone because, you know, there wasn't like 2 people out there. So we just assumed, you know, what if he came back with other people? So we were just like, you know, we went to the window and we were like screaming to our neighbors and stuff. And then to like the right, cause me facing you to the right, was, like I said, I wasn't even in 6th grade at the time, but there was a teacher next door, 6th grade teacher, and we knew her very well, Mrs. Palmer, and we were like trying to call out to her, but nobody could hear us. Like, we were screaming on top of our lungs, and even though we were screaming, that did not deter him. He was there for hours, you know, trying to figure out how to get into the house. Anyways, he eventually left, and we finally slept. Couldn't wait. We woke up and we told all the neighbors, and so they were like, you know what, that was so sad, you know what happened and stuff. So now we told everyone, and everyone now was on alert, like, okay, we're gonna make sure that, you know, at least we wake up and check and see. So everybody was just like I said, on alert. Like, let me tell you something, that was scary. I would not lie to you. Like, that was so freaking scary. Like, just to see the guy just freaking standing there watching, you know. And that happened to me recently too. Like, somebody was at our house and they were watching, but that's another story. But guys, but yeah, that I mean, honestly guys, if you know anyone from Jamaica that grew up in Jamaica, we have tons of crazy stories to tell you. Like, because it's not like here where you're so cooped up and whatnot. We have summer all year round, so we have stories from school, stories about home, stories just like for those of us who are like in Kingston and travel to the country. Oh, we have stories for days. I just don't remember much of my childhood, and it's not like I had like, oh my gosh, such a horrific. No, I didn't. I had I think the best of my friends actually were from Jamaica. I never really made friends here in the US, that's like, and I guess maybe that's just how this place is, but like for here, I just, I think like all my people that were just, oh my God, like I could say my friend, like my friend was like back in Jamaica, you know. Um, but just here, it's like people are just there, they're in your life for like a moment and then they're just gone, So it's like for those who have long lasting friendships here, hey, kudos to you. I've just given up on oh, that's my bestie, that's my no. I think my fiance is gonna be my best, well, is my bestie, soon to be my husband. That's gonna be my best friend. But yeah, but that was just one of the things that happened to me growing up in Jamaica. But anyways, guys, I don't want to keep you much longer. I don't want to bore you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to hear more story time, please leave me a message below, and then tell me if you want to hear more. And anyways, don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe if you think they like my channel, and tell me what you would like to see. If you have any ideas, of what you might like to see on this channel. And also, don't forget, I do share this channel with Mani, who's the makeup artist, by the way. So you'll see both of us interchangeably. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Today is Wednesday, and I will catch you in my next video. Thank you for watching.